I am Alfarius. G'day guys and gal. The Alpha Legion are by far the most cooked and difficult legion to understand. They have, well, two Primarchs, and they're simultaneously the weakest and strongest legion at the same time, and I don't even think they know which side they're actually on. But I do, and by the end of this video, so will you. Now, I did touch on this subject some time ago when we covered the Alpha Legion, but that video focused more on understanding their general lore, and we didn't get to deep dive into the topic as much as we needed to get a definitive answer. On top of that, the Alfarius book recently dropped, which has cleared up a lot of the maybes that were occurring in the Alpha Legion. However, as it was an Alpha Legion book, it also brought up a few more questions, and it doesn't help that halfway through the book, Alfarius is like, by the way, I'm lying about everything. Or am I? Thanks for making my job harder, Alfarius, you dickhead. Before we turn our brains into spaghetti trying to unravel this mystery, I have something exciting to share. When I launched the Majorkill minis, you guys were like, thanks Majorkill, these are very cool, very based, but nobody plays Elder or Chaos Majorkill, you retard. And I was like, yeah, no shit, I'm a dumbass. And so right now, the Majorkill Chaplain is live and ready for sale. This is the best model I've had made to date, and he's the perfect proxy for any Loyalist army or chapter. He's also only 30 Australian dollars, which puts him at half the price of the, alternative. If you guys have been wondering where Timmy is, he was recently decapitated and his skull is being used for the Chaplain's Battle Axe Scepter. On top of this, I'm announcing a competition. Whoever paints the best Majorkill mini, can be any of them, will get either $200 credit to the Majorkill store or $100 on the GW website. I have a bunch of new and very exciting models coming, so that $200 credit could be some serious sex once these drop. The competition will also have a special prize for the most interesting paint job, as well as the spiciest kit bash. For example, the previous paint jobs, this would win best paint job, this would win most interesting paint job, and this would win the spiciest kit bash. You know, because he's riding a freaking dragon. So yeah, pick up your Majorkill mini today, or just whenever, and get painting. The competition will run for a while, because, you know, delivery times and, you know, Nurgle's rot kind of slowing down the planes a bit. But yeah, so you have plenty of time, don't feel rushed. Oh yeah, and just for the hell of it, I dropped the price of the Majorkill Terminator Lord and the Space Elf Death Lord. I've been scouring my brain, books, and the internet to find the times that the Alpha Legion did something that either directly or indirectly benefited the Imperium, in a way to show that overall they could indeed be Loyalist. Obviously things are complicated by the fact that the Alpha Legion joined up with the traitors during the Horus Heresy, and there are some very not Loyalist Alpha Legionnaires lurking about. But by the end of this video, you will see that the Alpha Legion, or at least the core of it, can be considered Loyalist, even if the Alpha Legion themselves don't know it. There will be spoilers in this video for the new Alfarius book, but every lore video is full of fucking spoilers, so deal with it. Let's get into it. So I'm going to assume that you know a bit about the Alpha Legion and you've seen my video. If not, then watch this one, then go watch that one, then come back and watch this one again, preferably without ad block. The biggest thing cleared up by the new Alfarius book was he and his twin brother Amegan's origin story. Previously, they had like 5 origin stories, and we couldn't tell which one was real and which one was false. Well, it turns out they're all real, because of course they are. When the Primarchs were yeeted into the warp, Alfarius remained behind with the Emperor, whilst Omegan got flung away. As such, Alfarius was raised directly by the Emperor and Malkador, whilst Omegon got sent off to be some hentai monster's plaything. Rough. Alfarius would be taught the art of being a sneaky bitch by Malkador, and he got extremely arrogant despite being super intelligent. He even did an assassination attempt on the Emperor for a laugh, prompting Valdor to create the Blood Games to help the Custodes defend the Emperor better. Alfarius was given the Alpha Legion and basically told to be stealthy and weaken star systems for the other legions to easily clean up. All the while, Alfarius would attend their meeting of each of the Primarchs in disguise as a normal Space Marine, because he was short. Him being short, not to mention bold, is probably where his dickhead arrogant attitude comes from. Short man syndrome is a hell of a thing. Eventually, Alfarius discovers the monster hentai planet and he finds Omegon and teams up with him, and they go on a rampage and they destroy said hentai monsters, hence fulfilling another one of Alfarius' origin stories. When they unite, they believe that the existence of Omegon is completely secret to everyone, including the Emperor. As we know, since the Emperor had an Amigan piece on his 4D future-telling chess game he played with Malkador, he obviously knew Amigan existed, and it was just mega arrogant on Alpharius' part, believing that he was able to keep a secret from the Big E. Now here is the super duper mind-bogglingly confusing part which turns everyone's brains into spaghetti, so listen closely. Alpharius told Amigon to go attack Horus for the laughs as a way of introducing himself and properly meeting Horus. Amigon did this, but he did this with the name Alpharius. This was the official reveal of the Alpha Legion Primarchs to the rest of the galaxy, and it's where the Alpharius book kinda starts and ends. Now the confusing part of this is that it's not clearly stated if from then on, Amigon remained as Alpharius and Alpharius took on the name Amigon. If this is the case, then Amigon died to Dawn during the Horus Heresy and not Alpharius. Hence, to honor Amigon, who was posing as Alpharius, Alpharius, who was posing as Amigon, changed his name to Alpharius. My brain hurt just fucking saying that. This also messes with the theory that Amigon is the Loyalist twin, whilst Alpharius is the traitor one, if Amigon was the one that died. However, if the original Alpharius was actually the Loyalist one all along, and he kept the name Amigon, then it would be the original Amigon who was the traitorous one and was killed by Dawn. This is supported by the fact that when Dawn fought and killed who he thought was Alpharius, that Alpharius was using the weapon and armor that was unique to Amigon. However, this theory can be debunked by saying that Alpharius simply borrowed Amigon's gear for the fight, as the gear was really fucking good. The reality is though, it doesn't matter if Alpharius or Amigon died on Pluto against Dawn. The surviving brother withdrew his forces from the Siege of Terra and assumed the role of a subtle loyalist, whether it be Alpharius changing his mind or Amigon continuing his plan. Before we get any further with that headfuck, let's look at why the Alpha Legion went traitor in the first place. After all, both Alpharius and Amigon didn't want a Bar of Chaos. Basically, when the Horus Heresy broke out, a group of Xenos called the Cabal met with Alpharius and they told him he had two options. Option 1, join the Emperor, fight Horus and score a Pyrrhic victory for the Emperor. Then watch as over the course of 10,000 years, the Imperium decays and turns into a playground for chaos. Or option 2, join Horus, kill the Emperor, and allow Chaos to win, resulting in Chaos going nuts and genociding humanity. This would drive humanity extinct, but it would also starve Chaos to death, hence allowing the remaining Xenos of the galaxy to live in a paradise free of Chaos and humans. Alpharius, in his arrogance, believed that the Emperor's #1 goal was to defeat Chaos at all costs, hence he chose option 2. Amigon wasn't keen on this, but Alpharius was the dominant brother, as Alpharius was the original leader of the Alpha Legion, so Amigon couldn't just straight up say no. Instead, Amigon opted for a secret third option: play both sides, hence invalidating the Cabal's prophecy and carving a new yet unknown path for mankind. As such, whilst Alpharius and the Alpha Legion joined Horus and began causing big problems for the Imperium, Amigon and a small amount of the Alpha Legion began to subtly help the Imperium and sabotage the traitors. Both brothers considered themselves to be loyalist, as they were both doing what they thought the Emperor would have wanted and what was best for humanity. Now the poor Alpha Legionnaires didn't get the memo. They were just told that they were now against the Imperium and to follow Alpharius' lead. Hence the majority of the Alpha Legion became genuinely traitorous, with some even falling to chaos. This is where a lot of the confusion comes from. Both Primarchs claim to be loyal, one of them actually is, and most of their sons are not. As Alpharius was raised by the Emperor and Malkador, he may have arrogantly believed that he knew the Emperor's deep desires, i.e. the destruction of Chaos above all else, better than anyone, when in reality, the Emperor craved the survival of mankind above all else. Now let's look at some sneaky loyalist shit that Amigon did during the Horus Heresy. When the White Scars were wondering what the fuck was going on and who was bad or good, the Alpha Legion fleet approached the White Scars fleet. Instead of trying to trick Jagadai into joining Horus or delaying him, the Alpha Legion instead blockaded and antagonized the White Scars, making Jagadai trust the messages from the Loyalist over the traitors, and spurring him into action. I think this was a deliberate move by Amigon to push the Khan into joining the Emperor and making sure he was present for the Siege of Terra. You gotta remember that Amigon often pretended to be Alpharius, hence could order Alpha Legion Marines around with Alpharius' authority. Most Alpha Legionnaires were not even aware that they had two Primarchs. When the Perpetuals, Alanius and John, travelled to Earth during the Siege of Terra, they were caught by some Emperor's children, but they were saved from being turned into cocaine by an Alpha Legionnaire claiming to be Alpharius. Now, pretty much all of them claim to be Alfarius, but the point is that Marine was likely sent by Amegon to ensure that these two characters would fulfill their role. When Alfarius, or maybe Amegon, attacked the Sol system prematurely and exploited the holes in its defenses, they basically showed Dawn where the weaknesses in his defenses were. They probably didn't mean to die in the process, but hey, sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. Hence, when they died and the Alpha Legion withdrew, the surviving Alpha Legion Primarch, could be Alfarius, could be Amegon, gave Horus a map of the defenses that they exploited, knowing that Rogel would patch up the holes in those defenses. Hence, the map that Horus was given was really outdated and probably hurt the traders more than having no map at all. Post Siege of Terra, the Alpha Legion were the only legion that did not retreat to the Eye of Terror, but instead went to some dark secret zones of the galaxy. This was Alfarius's, or maybe Amegon's, way of keeping his Marines away from the corruption of chaos. Despite this, the Alpha Legion is mostly broken up and is now a bunch of roving warbands. Some are Loyalist, others are sucking from the chaos tit, and there are a few that are just having a chill. Regardless of their attitude, all are pawns for Alfarius, or maybe Amegon, to play with. Even to this day, the Alpha Legion are doing weird shit that indirectly helps the Imperium. For example, it was an Alpha Legion attack at Vrax which triggered the huge military response and the legendary siege of Vrax to begin. If the Alpha Legion didn't do a random, very uncharacteristic attack of them, the Imperium wouldn't have known that Vrax was going to be such a big issue, and it would have ended way worse for the Imperium. So to summarize, because I'm starting to confuse myself, both Primarchs had good intentions, but due to the recent Alfarius novel, we don't know for sure who lived and who died. It could have been Amegon that was killed by Dawn, as Amegon was trying to test and help Dawn improve his defenses of the Sol system, or it could have been Alfarius, like the previous lore suggested. The Legion as a whole are not aware that they had two Primarchs, or that they were secretly Loyalist, hence majority of the Alpha Legion Space Marines are genuine traitors. Despite this, the Alpha Legion is still often manipulated by the surviving Alpha Legion Primarch into helping the Imperium, such as the Vrax example. After a lot of thought, my money is on the original Alfarius being the one that remained Loyalist and performed option 3, hence invalidated the Cabal's prophecy. I believe this, as Amegon was more brutal than Alfarius, and Amegon was also not raised by the Emperor and Malcador and may not have even met them, hence why would he give such a big fuck? The final bit of evidence that points towards this is that the scaly armor and spicy spear we see Alfarius models and artwork use was actually unique to Amegon and had Xeno origins. That was the spear and armor that the Alpha Legion Primarch, who was killed by Dawn, was wearing at the time. Alfarius genuinely wore pretty plain power armor that the Emperor gave him because it helped him blend in. I could honestly talk about this subject for hours. I find it so interesting. Yo! Adeptus Ridiculous. Hit me up and we can jerk off over some Alpha Legion lore for an hour on your podcast. To really do this topic justice, there needs to be a genuine long discussion or even hot debate about it. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be. Where only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai. Also, once again, be sure to pick up a Majorkill mini if you want to enter in the competition or just beef up your army. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more confusing content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.